rogue energy giving you misinformation to act upon, or if it's your higher self correctly guiding you. But you have to learn your own higher language, and everybody got their own that's different, you know. But all of that is critical at this time to understand that you're getting a lot of spiritual information coming in the form of solar flashes and solar flares, and keep an eye on the interaction between the earth and the sun, and you can see them communicating. And if you study it, you can almost tell what they're saying to each other.
I had a question on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rod, you were just saying something, and we had this conversation about this with Cinnamon and some other ladies. And I wanted you to just kind of address really quickly how a lot of us do have our own higher vibrational talk or powers, or however people want to say, since childhood, and then they kind of refrain from it because they think it's weird or they shouldn't be like this. How do you tap back in after you've let that go for so many years, and how do you build the strength as far as really having that higher vibrational communication, whatever that's your gift personally?
So I normally tell people to learn oracle reading. Oracle reading can be the runes, it could be the I Ching, it could be the tarot cards, or you could study control remote viewing. The more you study it, the more you understand it, the more you understand it, the more you can use it as a tool to help you tap into your higher consciousness in your own language. But even those, I would also accompany with the art and science of self-talk.
I agree.
Thank you. And thank you, Dean. Yeah, you were asking wonderful questions. I'm sorry, was Biba next or Black Jesus? Do y'all remember?
Biba. It was Biba, okay. Black Jesus, and then.
Hey, how you doing, Chief Pontiac?
What's going on, B?
Shit, I was just trying to get in touch with you. I reached out to you on my Instagram, Biba Benny and Benny Masai, and I was just trying to tell you my story, like what I was going through and stuff, like how I sacrificed myself in 2019, and I was walking in Christian manifestation, and I had fell 35 feet on my face and got tased 6 times, and it was a higher spirit that was calling me and telling me that, like, it was Allah. I was walking Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, and I just been trying to get back to my psychic abilities. I've been making music ever since I was called, and in 2019, 2 angels had walked up to me, two beings had walked up to me and told me that I was called to bring heaven to earth, and like bring with the music of the change of the vibration and stuff. And I just want to get on track with what the right things that I should be doing, because lately I've been going down, like I've been struggling with smoking Black and Miles, but I got off of weed. I was on that very strong, and
yeah, me too.
I'm just trying to like get back. I was a big chiefer, you feel me? Big chief, you feel me? I had to get back, get it right. I just trying to see, like, with my psychic abilities, because most of the things that I prophesy out my music, like I want to know how can I like lead the people down the right path and keep them on a, like, because I want to, because I am a great role model and a great person that like my past don't describe my life. Like everything that I've been through, like that was like, it was my spiritual thing, because I was walking Christian manifestation, and the Jewish church had put like a spell over me when I was getting baptized, and they baptized me outside of the water and cast my demons out, and I fell back. It was just deeper than what I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I just had to. I just wanted to see what you felt about that, like how you feel. And I'm
okay.
Like,
Look,
I got initiated in the tree of life and everything. Like I got like not your life. I just like got the tree of life tattoo on me and the cosmos tattooed on me.
Look, as a musician, your lyrics is supposed to come from what they call the true place. That means speaking from your heart chakra. When your music is relayed to people, it should be feel-good music. If it's feel good music, then you can deal with your lyrics next. But once you're on the frequency, the lyrics come to you on their own, right?
Right.
But this is also a psychic ability because you're translating the song of the spheres through an emotional paradigm. And you'll reach the same people in the same emotional paradigm through the music, right? So it's best right now for you to like dive into your music, and when you know how you go into the zone when you start writing.
Yeah.
That's the spiritual place. Once you hit that zone, you can ask God any question you want, and the answer will come out in the form of lyrics. You just got to know your own higher language, which goes back to what the sister was talking about, and start studying the art and science of self-talk. So you'll know how to talk to your higher consciousness so it can know what you're trying to solve in your life or in anybody else's life that's useful to the collective.
Yeah,
As
I
a
heard.
musician, that's all you got to do is tune in, and it comes out on its own.
I was just hearing you talk about that self talk just recently when you recently said it the last person. The
Somebody
self talk.
typing.
I don't know what that is. Well, put your mute button on. Somebody's. I don't know what that was.
I appreciate that, Rod.
All the time. Yeah,
Peace.
I think I seen your message, and I was like, "It's gonna take."
I won't have to text you long or nothing. We could just keep it cordial and just we could just keep coming. It's just I just want to be able to have a connection with you because I feel your spirit. I feel everything you talk about. Like lately,
Yeah.
I've been on everything that you've been everything that you've been saying. I've been on it on your videos because I can feel it and I feel the big mama spirit in me. My mom is she never smoked or did none of that, and she's a righteous woman, but
Yes, I am.
but when I stepped into this the spirit making music and stuff, it had she had thought I opened myself up to a different gateway and stuff, and she just wasn't fond of it because she's more of the Christian base, and I just wanted to step into a different lane, and I have, and it led me down a different
Listen,
road.
the only conversation you have with your mom is to ask her one question: do you trust what you taught me when I was growing up?
That's it.
Right.
Because if she don't trust what she taught you, there's nothing you're gonna be able to tell her to make her accept what you're doing. But if she trusts that she taught you right and that you're gonna follow through and do what's right, then she gotta let you live your life and bump into your own walls. Because you ain't gonna never grow no other way. You're gonna be a bonsai tree if you do. You won't never be a redwood.
Right.
You gotta have your experiences. And a lot of people think because a person don't drink and don't smoke and don't eat meat make them righteous. That's not the case. You gotta remember, Adolf Hitler was a vegan. Benito Mussolini was a vegan. One of them Russian leaders was a vegan, and they was killing people like 90 going north. Right? So that's not a prerequisite to righteousness. The purity of heart is the prerequisite to righteousness when you come from the true place with what you say.
And
right?
honoring your family tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Your family tree.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you stay focused, and that's how you stabilize yourself.
Yeah. And remember, you got ancestors in your family tree. They don't want the best for you either. You got to tell them to get thee behind me, Satan, as the Christians say, so your ancestors on the other side can jack them up, justified. Once you tell that, this is how you know. Your alcoholic uncle wants you to be an alcoholic because he's wishing his demons on you. You don't know nothing about it because you're 2 years old when he died. All of a sudden, you turn into a teenager and you fall in the bottom and can't get out. That's him. He wished his demons on you because he was mad at your mama because she didn't give him that chicken leg. She gave it to her husband instead. And he felt that because he was her brother, he should have got it. So he wished bad on you. So now you got to deal with the demons that he left you. As soon as you check them, your ancestors going to come like gangbusters and make him sit down, and you will sense it. And then you won't be trapped in the bottle no more. Right? And that's just an example, but it's all kind of behavioral defects that ancestors leave for us to clear up. That's called breaking generational curses, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
And don't nobody want to work because the job is hard.
Thank you, Biba.
I appreciate that.
I would love to hear some of your music sometime too. You have to
check me out. My channel is Biba Benin. It's Benin is Ben with EATIN without the G. Biba Benin.
Yes.
I got like me. I got music on me prophesying and everything.
Ooh, yes. Come up with a little jingle for us, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
My last thing was my last song was me. Not it. It's called me. Like, cause I was saying that I still ain't changed from the person that I always been. I still ain't changed. It's not it. I'm still the same person. I'm just growing. I'm growing as a different vessel, but I'm still the same person. I'm going. Once a walk ain't come in, it's gonna be a different. It's gonna be a different environment for when I actually invite that spirit in to help me out on my spiritual path, to grow me and enlighten me in the right way and in my higher self.
Yeah, that's the one. That's who you talking to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go ahead and let you do
thank you. Thank you for coming up.
No problem.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
You
Hi,
too.
Black Jesus. Welcome.
That's what we need, a Black Jesus walking around with jewels and things.
You know what it is. Peace to everybody.
Peace.
How are you?
Hey, I'm gonna say it this way, Rod. I'm brain banging rather than gang banging. So now you know what it is. So now you know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So check this out. I'm watching my 2-year-old son. I'm 52. I got a 2-year-old. And I got a 9-month-old too. Well, I got 12 other children as well. So, but anyway, all right. So I'm watching my 2-year-old, bro, and you talking about like your inner talk, and he rarely talks, but he says a lot. It's so much that he say, and I'm watching like you was talking about breaking generational curses, man. Like so many generational curses have been lifted from me and my wife, and as we moving through this, man, we watching how our children react. You know, our families were one thing, but our children have been a whole nother eye opener. You know, I can almost predict what some people are gonna do, but children are like new. They straight from the essence. So I'm watching how my 2-year-old's moving, man. I'm seeing him catch downloads, and you know, I'm trying to adjust to it, bro. Like especially having a wife. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going from this matriarchal feeling to having to submit to some patriarchy, and I was raised under patriarchy. You know, my big mama and them ran stuff in the hood. So but it's just different now, bro. So I'm saying, like, how have you been adjusting?
I don't know nothing, but I know the patriarchy from seeing it, and from my personal experience, I grew up in a matriarchal environment. My mama and all of her sisters, they were some G's, but I watched all of them evolve from tearing up stuff to being upright women. And I was just fortunate enough to grow up with them only being 20, 30 years older than me to see their evolution. Right. But the matriarchal influence, that's the prime influence of my upbringing. My mother was our matriarch. And she groomed other matriarchs. She gave them the keys to be effective in being mothers, aunties, sisters. She would coach them through when they get stuck. That's what they do with each other. That's why that sister circle is so important, because it allows the healed women to heal the other women. And women that talk about she don't get along with women, don't like women, don't know that's part of the curse. That was the broken mirror curse. And her power is when she started to be able to function with other women is when she's starting to be healed.
So how do we facilitate that?
Playing our position as men, protectors and providers of the family. Right? Properly instructing the children, right? You say stuff to your son that will impact him the rest of his life, but you don't even know it yet. Speak life into your child. Don't let nobody tell you your son bad. Don't let nobody tell you he got ADD, ADHD, none of that. He a boy. So you might have to take him to the park and let him burn some boy energy off.
Go ahead, Freedom.
I was just going to say, what if a person has a problem because the tribe no longer exists? What type of advice can you give them on tracking down the tribe that their ancestors were involved in, and how to regain the knowledge that they had at one time and how to start it up? And then I also want to ask you this one other question too, because Polka, when she mentioned some things about, your special gifts that's given to you through the universe, and Dulcinea said this earlier, do you find that to be ancestral, that could come through the line of your ancestors?
Okay. First thing, what was the first part about?
The first question was how to regain the knowledge that your ancestors had.
Okay, so the tribes. Okay, look. We're going to be renaming our tribes because we had to reconstitute the tribes. And right now, the tribes that we probably got 7 or 8 different tribes all mixed up in us or more. Well, we're dealing with over 400 years of this erasing of our history and the living under a false paradigm. So it's not going to be easy to exhume exactly which tribe you from if your ancestors didn't carry it down. Like, I know I'm a Mississippian, and I know the Mississippians are totem root clan tribes of the land. So I don't have to know nothing else to follow the process at that point of the oral traditions. But what I do have to do is study all of the other clans that I run across to try to understand they tribal traditions being different. Like now I'm under growth and development. My chief is Larry Hoover, right? But I know Nubian doctrine because I studied Malachi's doctrine. I know the nation doctrine.
Me too.
I know 5% of doctrine. I know the Moorish doctrines. I know a lot of the tribal ways from tribes that I've encountered on the land. So I can use all that to put together a bigger picture. But as far as the tribes that we originally was from, a lot of us, like for instance, if you Choctaw, you probably have Choctaw, have Chickasaw, right? Because they did a lot of intermarrying with each other. So you wouldn't pick one, you would be a Choctaw Chickasaw, right? But we didn't name ourselves those names. Those are most of the names we hear today for the tribes is exonyms that the foreigners gave us. Very few of the names that we had before the settlers came even exist anymore. They're not spoken. So we have to come up with a new language, and we have to come up with new names for the tribe. And we got time to do all that stuff because we're going to have the resources to accomplish it. The next part was
the spiritual gifts that you get through nature.
Are they ancestral?
Is it possible that it carries down from the family members in your past? You know what I mean?
It's about a 99% chance that you'll
from the Quarrel side or my dad's side. I really wish I knew, but
you can ask yourself and get an answer.
Yeah, I almost seen my grandmother greasing up something in my mindset when I said that.
Which grandmother was she?
On my dad's side. That's weird.
No, that would make you be a daddy's girl.
Oh, I'm definitely a daddy's girl, without a doubt.
Mm.
You right about that. I don't even know how to love anybody more than I love him. I don't.
That's how they pass it through the love channel.
That's right. I'm gonna let Miss Rita, Miss Rita, Lady Rita. I want you to hurry up and get your question out because your phone is going to let you come out again, and I don't want that to happen. Oh, there he is.
Well, they brought my brother up here. I'm about to be here another hour because I know when Top Chat and me get started.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best.
Oh, it's already starting.